Hello friends, this is Adam with Movie Guy 365, and in today's video I'm going to give you 10 movies from the 90s you should definitely check out on 4K Ultra HD. If you're new to the channel, please hit the like button, subscribe, hit that bell notification. You can also find me over Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd at Movie Guy 365. Okay, in this video, I will be giving you top 10 90s movies you should check out on 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray. Not too long ago, I did a similar video focusing on the decade of the 80s, and before that, just the general classics before 1980. And what I really enjoy about 4K Ultra HD is it seems a lot of the times, many of these studios, when they put out the 4K discs, they really put their best foot forward and they treat classics with a lot of respect most times. It's not perfect, but I do feel that this format, more than any other, really strives to make the best possible viewing and listening experience at home. So, as I said, in this video, we're going to be focusing purely on movies that were released in the 1990s that are currently available on 4K Ultra HD. This will, of course, be my particular list. Yours will be very different, but I do encourage you to put in the comments section below what you would put on yours. Share it with everybody. I really am just anxious to see what you're going to put down. Also, this is not a commentary about the movies themselves. This is going really based off the picture and audio qualities of the discs. So, with that being said, let's not waste any more time. Let's dive right into my number 10. For my first pick, that is going to go to the Paramount release of The Addams Family. It doesn't seem like too long ago that the sequel, The Addams Family Values, was released just on Blu-ray. And I was totally not expecting a 4K release of the first film, and I'm happy to say it looks fantastic on 4K. Those colors look really rich and just inviting. The movie has such a great film quality to it. It holds up very well, and it's a great, I would say, an example of what a 90s movie can and should look like on 4K Ultra HD. This movie has never looked better. It's very filmic, and hopefully with the Addams Family Values, we get a 4K down the road. I'm very hopeful on that one, but yes, if you've never seen it or have never owned a physical release copy of the Addams Family, definitely check out the 4K edition. At number 9, that is going to go to the quintessential action film of the 90s, and that is Speed. Of course, Speed is legendary, for its pop culture status. And, with 20th Century Fox, or as it is distributed now by Disney, getting a 4K release was nothing short of a minor miracle. We all know that their stance on 4K releases is spotty at best. But I am happy to say the 4K release is actually very much improved over the existing Blu-ray. The only thing I really wish it would have gotten was an Atmos upgrade, but the DTS 5.1 is very solid. It's still very punchy, but the picture, I think it looks fantastic. It's just such a good film to enjoy at home. And when you think of 90s and 90s action movies, Speed is definitely on your list. So yes, pick up the 4K. I don't think you'll regret it. At number 8, that's going to go to another Keanu Reeves flick, this time The Matrix. This is another movie that has been really established into pop culture very well. The Matrix on 4K, I think, looks fantastic. I know there have been a lot of divisive opinions whether the green tint present on earlier formats is the preferred way to watch it, but I think it looks great. It really has such a good visual style. But of course, the real winner here is going to be the Dolby Atmos upgrade. I think it's worth the price of admission alone for that. And it's such a good movie to just really sit back and enjoy on 4K Ultra HD. It's a cool movie. I love how it looks and sounds. And yes, you should definitely own this one on the format. At number 7, that is going to go to The Fifth Element. This movie falls into a weird bubble, I feel. It's not quite as well regarded as, let's say, The Matrix, but I do feel that in my opinion, it is very underappreciated, but the 4K edition, those colors are extremely just bold and they look great. I love the visual style of this one, and I think just the look of the film on 4K really just benefits from the HDR. And with Sony's recent history of re-releasing movies with Dolby Vision upgrades, I suspect this is in the line for that, probably within the year. So yeah, I would say get it, but keep that in mind going forward. And the Dolby Atmos, wow, it's punchy as hell. It sounds excellent. It's a great Atmos experience. And in my opinion, The Fifth Element is a movie that sells me on the 4K format. And yeah, definitely check this one out for yourself. For number 6, that is going to go to Godzilla 1998. This movie recently made my top 10 giant monsters 4K list, and for very good reason. No matter what you may think of the film, if you're a fan, you're getting the best possible experience on 4K Blu-ray. This movie looks excellent. The HDR grading does a wonderful job. Black levels are nice and deep, and I feel that the colors give a nice visual boost. And that Atmos upgrade, wow, that's something really, you have to listen for yourself. Your room is going to shake violently, and all the action on screen sounds excellent. This movie, I understand the criticism, but there are fans of it out there. It is a 90s film, and I think really the 4K experience, you should definitely check for yourself. For number 5, that is going to go to another Sony release, this time Starship Troopers. This is another title I suspect Sony is going to upgrade to a Dolby Vision grading in the near future, but in the meantime, I think it has a nice place on the existing 4K. Colors look excellent, black levels really nicely deep, and that grain, it's nicely layered. I think it looks fantastic, and once again, the Dolby Atmos is a real winner. Those bug hunts and action sequences are very immersive. They're gonna give you a nice punch in your guts. I enjoy this 4K disc. It's nice 90s cheese at its finest. So yeah, definitely look to adding this one to your collection. At number 4, that's going to go to Last Action Hero. I was pleasantly surprised when they announced a 4K edition of this movie, and I was absolutely floored when I popped this one into my 4K player, and it just looks so good. I loved the HDR grading on this one. I think it handled it with real respect. And for me, the real winner was the Atmos. I was completely taken off guard with how great it sounded. There have been a few movies that have done that for me recently. The recent release of Heavy Metal on 4K being an instance of that. But the Atmos, yes, this one sounds fantastic. Something about the 90s films sounding so much better with an Atmos upgrade, and this one is no exception. I love the 4K disc of this one. It's 90s. It's a great satire on the action movie, library. So yeah, check this one out for yourself. I really I can't recommend this one enough. At number 3, that is going to go to the universal release of Backdraft. This is another film that I feel gets overlooked, but if you've ever seen it, you know how just a 4K upgrade really going to show this one off both visually and audio-wise. The HDR grading does a wonderful job with those fire sequences, and take those fire sequences and give you the benefit of the DTSX audio. It's going to put you right into the middle of the action like no other time on any other previous formats, and that very just inspirational music, it sounds fantastic. I love that the 4K upgrade really did this movie justice. Visually and audio-wise, it's a fantastic pickup. At number 2, that will go to the Brian De Palma classic, Carlito's Way, released by Universal. This epic crime drama got the justice it deserved on the 4K formats with a really nice picture enhancement, and the HDR grading does a wonderful job enhancing the setting, and the black levels are nearly perfect. And not to be outdone, the DTSX audio upgrade takes things up another notch. This movie relies a lot on the atmosphere and ambience of the setting, and I think it does a wonderful job. The music also really benefits here. This movie has never looked and sounded better than it does on 4K Ultra HD, and if you're a fan of the film, add this one to your collection right now. Before I give you my number 1, just a couple of quick honorable mentions. The Green Mile, recently released on 4K from Warner Brothers. This one I think is a well worthwhile upgrade. It has such a great grading with the HDR. I love the movie, and it's awesome and kind of warming to my heart that this was given the proper respect on 4K. And Apollo 13. This one is a great, I would say it's a complimentary to Backdraft, considering it is the same director, and that takeoff sequence, it is awesome. And the DTSX audio upgrade, I think it just pulls you right into the film, and I recommend it just off that alone. And finally, Casino. Another crime drama. This has a lot of great stylized visuals that really come to life here with the HDR grading. And I feel the DTS:X audio is also a nice bump up, with the audio department. I recommend this one, and I think all these honorable mentions, you should definitely watch for yourself, pick them up on 4K. And for my number one 90s movie you should definitely check out on 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray, you knew it was coming, and that's gonna go to Saving Private Ryan. Director Steven Spielberg's epic war film is just so good, but add that 4K factor to it, you're gonna get the best possible visual and audio experience. Visually, this movie has a stylistic choice to it that I think lends itself very well to an HDR grading. But let's be honest, you're here for the audio experience, and the Dolby Atmos delivers in spades. This has a great, come on, the opening sequence alone is worth it. But the overall film, I think, really has a great, just immersive feeling to it. I love how it looks and sounds. This movie is probably one of Spielberg's best and well-known films, and thankfully it was given the proper respect it deserves on the 4K format. So those are my top 10 movies from the 1990s you should definitely check out on 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray. If you're interested in any of these titles, I will leave an Amazon link in the comments section below. If you use it, it really helps out the channel. But now it's your turn. Let me know in the comments, what 90s movies would you love for us to check out on 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray? Let's talk about it. In the meantime, please like, subscribe, hit that bell notification. So until next time, this is Adam with Movie Guy 365. I will see you at the movies.